What's up, and welcome back to another Kinda Funny live reaction. This time to the trailer for Resident Evil. Welcome to Raccoon City. As always, I'm Tim Geddes, joined by the new face of video games, Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Tim, I'm very excited to check this out because I'm not a Resident Evil movie person, but I have been seeing the reactions to this trailer on Twitter, and I'm not gonna spoil it for you.
Okay.
But man, do people feel some type of way about this trailer? So I'm excited to see what they're talking about.
I'm very interested. Very interested. Of course, we have the big dog, Kevin Coelho.
I have watched a lot of the Resident Evil movies, not all of them. And this is a reboot, so this doesn't matter for that. I recently watched Resident Evil 8. That is my resume. Most of it, just to be clear. Not all.
On. So when you say you watched Resident Evil 8, what you mean to say is you watched Andy and Blessing play Resident Evil 8.
That is what I meant to say. That is what I meant to say.
Nice,
yeah.
nice.
Fantastic.
I think maybe some of 7 as well. That is my resume.
You must have watched a lot of 7 because we played all the way through 7, unless it was.
Yeah, but you did a couple streams where I wasn't running it. I wasn't running
gotcha.
it. Yeah.
And then joining us as well is the master of hype, Snowbike Mike.
Blessing, I have watched every single Resident Evil movie, and I am disappointed in all of them. So I look forward to what we see here.
Now, here's the thing before we even get into this. I'm so interested by what Bless is saying because this movie has no relation to the previous Resident Evil movies. This movie is being made by a hardcore original Resident Evil fan. Kevin, I'm getting some visuals from you that things might not be going well. Do I need to stop
everything's
talking?
going fine. It's one of those things that the asset, don't worry about it. Everything's totally fine. The asset that we're using is wrong, and that's my fault. It's my fault. I fucked that up. I'm sorry.
I got you, and I feel you. So here's the situation with this: is everything going into it? This is supposedly based on the first 3, the classic OG trilogy of Resident Evil games, where they're taking elements of 1, 2, 3, putting them together into one movie, and they're trying to be like everything we've heard about this movie. I'm like, this sounds like they're trying to be the most authentic to the video game movie adaptation that we've ever seen. So
I can't wait for your reaction then.
We'll see. Let's go.
Because I didn't know that, but I'm excited now.
Come on.
I like that guy.
Every story has a beginning.
How stories work.
Yep.
Discover the origin of evil.
Take me down to
Why are you
the
back here,
Raccoon City.
Claire? Your conspiracies weren't true when we were kids. They're not true now.
We need to.
Oh, I like that,
expose
Jabroni.
Umbrella.
Stephen Amell, yeah.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Watch this.
It's like Arrow's brother.
Oh, that's Green Arrow? Oh, no, it's his brother. Okay.
His brother,
no.
yeah.
Oh, Rob.
Rob Amell.
I'm talking Chernobyl, if you know what I mean.
Perkin.
People are getting
Oh.
sick.
Oh my God, the police
that's-
station.
That fucking guy.
The truck driver.
You gotta help us, Claire. Let the world know what's really going on.
Oh, there. This is from RE2.
We have to contain this.
Wait.
Shall we go?
Okay, odd song choice. Okay.
It's the He-Man meme.
Why?
Why?
What were Umbrella doing here?
This is where they're
That's not the guy from
experimenting on him.
Victorious, is it?
We should split up.
All the doors opening. Song is hilarious.
Yeah, this is a
Look at the shot
hell
though.
of a
That's the
choice.
mansion, man. Oh,
It's that
fuck,
scene
it's the
we've
shot.
seen.
It's the shot.
Yeah,
You know
we've
what?
seen that.
That's actually pretty cool.
Oh, it's got a giant head. Ooh, okay.
That looks horrible.
We're gonna take Umbrella down.
Oh, that did not look
Okay.
good.
Do you remember when they made the Doom movie and that was really bad? This is giving me major vibes of that.
Wow.
Oh, the
Let's-
gunshot.
Wow.
More gunshots.
Wow. Okay. That gives me very big straight to TV vibes.
Yeah. Home movie kind of thing.
Yeah.
We recently also played I think it was 2, right? Is that right, Mike? Somebody played through most of 2 in one of our streams. And like there were definitely a lot of 2 vibes. Or the one where they go through the police station?
PlayStation 2.
That is
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
that is too.
And I definitely got
3.
a lot of vibes, but it also feels like it was made on a really budget, like real budget. Maybe it was like COVID limitations that made it look like
Yeah, this is
filmed
this is one of
so
those ones where
empty.
I'm like, the game looks way better than the actual movie, which is kind of funny. Like, I'd rather just watch through all the cutscenes of the Resident Evil 2 remake as opposed to watch this. But like, I do like some of the references, right? Like seeing the shot of the zombie eating the dude and then turning around, and seeing shots of the police station and all that stuff. Like, it seems honestly like some of the stuff they're referencing and some of those shots are really cool, but just visually and effectively, it just looks cheap in a way that it's hard for me to get behind. But I don't know. I respect that they're doing it. Like, some of the direction seems interesting.
Here's the thing. This looks absolutely atrocious. Having said that, this is it. This is what everyone's been asking for forever, of all be faithful to the games. This is faithful to the games. There are some elements that obviously are kind of not to like connect it to make it make sense as a movie. But I've always made the argument that like you can't just take Resident Evil 1 and turn it into a movie. Like, what is it? What's it gonna be? Like, you going through solving puzzles and shit in this mansion? Like, that's
a fair
fucking
point,
weird.
yeah.
It's like with this, it's like they have the key locations of cool. We get the shot of them going to the mansion. They'll figure some stuff out here, and then we also have the B storyline of Claire and them at the police station. And like, so much of this looks authentic to elements of the game, which, hey, quote unquote, we asked for this. Did people necessarily ask for a Resident Evil movie to begin with? No, but we're getting it. And the thing with this that I think is hilarious is like, I can't wait to watch this. It looks so bad, but there's going to be so many moments that make us go like, fuck yeah. Kind of like the Mortal Kombat movie recently, where all of us are just watching it together, having a damn good time watching it. Is it good? Hell no. Is it entertaining as fuck?
So
Yes.
like the Mortal Kombat movie, at the very least, I feel like budget-wise, definitely oversees this by a lot. This feels this feels like a YouTube fan-made movie that is premiering in theaters, which I think I'm kind of with you, Tim, that I actually do want to watch this. I think it's gonna be a fun watch, and we're gonna shit on this movie a lot, but I think it's gonna be in a fun way where we're gonna come out of it being happy that we watched it, because it's gonna be ridiculous.
Here's the thing for me. I feel like watching this, it looks like they went to a Comic-Con and did like a Resident Evil costume, like cosplay contest.
Yes.
And they picked the winners of that to star in this movie, and gave them a bigger budget than the high profile YouTube channel would get, like a Corridor Digital or something like that. But definitely not like a full movie budget. And they're just like, go, you have the full rights, and they're authentically huge fans of Resident Evil, and that's what we're getting. And at the end of the day, I'm not mad at that. I'm going in understanding that's what this is.
I just think that the first 30 minutes is going to be a lot of very dramatic acting that just they don't have the right actors for. Like, no offense to all these people. There are a couple faces that I recognize, and it's not like I recognize them for being great actors, but I do recognize them, you know? And
Yeah,
I just think
it's hilarious.
Yeah, I really think the first 30 minutes, it's going to be a slog fest. But then we're going to get a lot of fucking stupid deaths that are going to be like entertaining, I think.
I will say, for how budget this movie looks, getting Rob Amell feels like a good pull. And then I'm like 95% sure that the other good-looking dude is the dude from Victorious, who dates Jade in that show, who was also in Zombieland 2, I believe. And like, just from that standpoint, that guy right there.
Yeah,
just from that standpoint,
guys, right?
Yep, that's the guy. And like, bro, I'm in for it. I kind of want to see it just for the cast and to see like, I want to see the overacting. Like, I want to see the recreations of scenes that we know and love. Is there any hint of Mr. X or like I forget the name of the guy from 3 that would follow you? Nemesis. Yeah, is there any hint of that? Because I didn't get any of that from this trailer.
Well, not necessarily them exactly, but we're seeing Birkin, like we're seeing like the big-headed kid. Like I imagine that's some play on Shirley to some extent. Like how those things got created are being teased in this. So I don't know if they're like saving that for a potential sequel, or what. But like this is so funny. Another thing to keep in mind, and again, in a perfect world, what I'm about to say wouldn't even be taken into thought, and they would just make a damn good movie, and that's all that it is. But we need to understand that the Resident Evil game stories and acting and dialogue were never good. They were debatably B tier, and they were B movies, but like that's not real. They were really like D movies. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
And so it's like this is just them making a movie out of that, taking elements from multiple of the games. I think it's gonna be a damn good time, but yeah, it's gonna be fucking rough.
Yeah, part of me wishes this was a Netflix original thing.
Me too.
I think A Netflix originals this movie as a Netflix original would have that good point of entry where I'm like, cool, I'm not wasting my time going to a theater to see this. I can watch this in my home. And then also I think there's an expectation there in terms of what you can actually do, or at least what that spectrum is as a Netflix original. Because you can have a really good, phenomenal film as a Netflix original, but you can also have I forget if the Babysitter movies are Netflix originals or not, but this gives me the
Yeah, they are.
Babysitter. Okay, yeah, and this movie gives me those vibes of like I'm going in here knowing I'm watching something that is cheap and whatever, but also like that's part of the experience. And I'd be totally down for that on Netflix. In theaters is a way bigger ask, and I don't know what the actual like turnout is gonna be for this movie for people
Yeah.
actually showing up. And maybe I'm wrong because Resident Evil movies keep getting made, which means that they keep being
Oh,
profitable
yeah.
and people keep watching them. And so maybe I'm way off base, and this movie's actually gonna be really popular. But this gives me so much Babysitter vibes of like I would want to watch this at home on Netflix as just a random like scrolling through, seeing it and picking it out.
Yeah, I mean, the reason for that is it's Sony Pictures. They don't have a streaming
Mm.
platform. So, like, they're trying to
point.
make that money anywhere they can.
That
But,
makes sense.
Mike, I want to close this out just with you. Any final thoughts on Resident Evil? Welcome
You
to
know,
Raccoon City.
My final thoughts are, Tim, I'm a big fan of video games becoming movies. You know that I love the switch up of the mediums. I love sharing in that universe. And going back to Resident Evil is a familiar and fun place, right? The iconic umbrella logo, all the zombies and all the scares are going to be fun. But I'm going to walk out of this, Tim, going, man, that was an awful hour and a half. And I wish I didn't do that. So I look forward to the fun. They got a big uphill battle for me, but I am not impressed by this.
Just don't go, Mike. If you know you're gonna leave this being like, nah, like this isn't.
You don't
this
have to
was
watch
bad.
it.
You don't have
I'm
to
gonna
go.
watch it. I watch every bad movie there's known to man. I'll
That's
be
true.
here for
That's
this.
very
Can we
true.
bring Mike down here? Can we drive Mike down here to watch this with us? Because I think this is gonna be a good time if we all go together.
So I'm gonna say this right now. I'm looking at the calendar. 100%, we will be doing a screencast review of Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon
want
City.
on that.
The problem is it comes out the week of Thanksgiving, so it's where our review will be like a week delayed, but it will happen, everybody. So get hyped, get excited, okay? We're doing it. We're doing it. Who here's committing to it? I'm committing.
Dude, I'm in. They got me.
Mike,
As long as the company
I'm
pays for
in,
it.
of course. I'll be there all day, every day.
Kev Dog.
Let's go,
He's
Kevin.
in, everybody.
Let's go.
He's in. We're doing it. We're doing it. Let us know in the comments below how unbelievably hyped you are for Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City, movie of the year 2021, and fuck it, 2022 too. But till next time, love you all. Goodbye.